All right, guys, we're gonna be getting into the last game of the recordings. This was from round 5 of the tournament, and we're taking a look at Daniel, who's playing red, blue, green Disgaea deck, versus Michelle, who's playing a Love Live Nozomi and Ellie deck. And she's going to start by playing that 0/0 Nozomi. It's a 3/5 oversize. When it comes into play, you have to reveal the top card, and if it's not a music character, then you have to send that card a clock. And it wasn't a music character, it was a climax. And then she's going to go ahead and swing 4/3. And the Ellie in the back row is giving plus 500 power to all other music characters on the stage, so that Nozomi is sitting at 4K. So I don't totally remember what all of this guy's cards do, but okay. So he plays a 500 assist, and then that level 0 Laharl. His ability is when it comes into play, you have to rest a character. So he rests the back row, and then he crashes 4K into 4K. Going back to Michelle now, she's going to play that level 0 Nozomi again, and she's going to be successful this time in the top deck check, not having to deal extra damage to herself. And on the left is or on the bottom rather, is the Mogyuto level 0. On play, it gets plus 1500 until the end of the turn, but it's not really doing anything because the power doesn't matter since there's no character across from it. So she's going to play a 2k1, and this is going to hit for 4 direct. Last card cancel, pretty good. And swing for 2, and that's going to go through. So Daniel is probably going to clock himself to level 1 this turn. So he does clock himself. And oh my god. I couldn't catch what color that card was. So he plays the level 0 Laharl-chan. I don't remember what all of the cards in Disgaea do, so it's not a set that I'm really very familiar with. The ability of that level 0 involves putting back a climax into the opponent's deck. So the thing about Disgaea is that some of the effects in Disgaea, you shuffle climaxes back into your opponent's deck in order to get possible benefits. So like there's a card that says like when you play it, you send a climax back to your opponent's deck in order to gain the ability until the end of the turn, where if you reverse the opponent's character, you get to salvage. I believe that's the effect. Now here Michelle is going to go to level 1. And I believe, okay, so I guess the ability is by shuffling back the climax into the opponent's deck, if it reverses the opponent's character this turn, he gets to draw a card. So the Nozomi Searcher is just a standard searcher. When it comes into play, you pay 1 stock, discard a card to search your deck for a music character. And she's going to search for the 1/1 Clock Encore Ellie. So this is the same one that I played in my Love Live deck. It's a 1/1 6K. If you have 3 or more other music characters on the field, it gets plus 1K, so it becomes a 7K. The Nozomi I'm actually not familiar with. I believe it's from Love Live Volume 2, though. Let's look that up right now. Okay, let's see what that... So this is the Yume no Tobira Nozomi. It's a 105k. When this comes into play, if you have another Nozomi on your field, then this card gets plus 2k until the end of the turn. So those are attacking for 7-5 each. Okay, so I'm assuming that, uh, okay, that he, okay, I need to see what this card is. Okay, so the card that he had out in play was a 1/0 Laharl-chan, which means that he had to have leveled red for level 1, I suppose. Its ability is when this card is sent from the stage to the waiting room, you can pay 1 stock and discard that specific climax that he discarded in order to play the 2/3 Laharl-chan. Uh, so it's a 2/3 10k with 2 soul, and it has no effect. Brainstorm here hit 2, and he's going to be able to draw 2 cards off that Desco Brainstorm. Gonna go ahead and move his other cards to the front. The card that he just played to the back row is the 1/0 Flan that gives like all his other characters hand encore, and it has another ability when it gets sent to the waiting room that allows you to salvage. So here he just like moves all of his back row characters to the front. The character that just got reversed, when it gets reversed, you put it on the bottom of your deck, and that's a mandatory ability. So now Daniel's field is all empty except, or his front row rather, is all empty except for the 2/3 Laharl-chan, which is pretty freaking big. Currently, it's sitting at 10k, but it also has a hand encore from the Flan, if I'm not mistaken. Michelle's gonna clock to level 2. Technically, she's supposed to choose a card to put in level zone before drawing 2 cards, because leveling up takes priority over drawing the cards. She's gonna play that I believe it's a Nozomi level support, and its so apart from being a level support, its other ability is like at the start of your main phase, you look at the top card of your deck, and you can either choose to leave it on top of the deck or put it on the bottom. And then, it's not a level support. It's 1k to front, so 1,000 power in front. And then she's gonna play the Nozomi Searcher, pay 1, drop 1, search her deck for that 0/0 Ellie. So the Ellie that she just searched for is a 2/1 with 8k power. And the ability on that card is when another one of your music characters attacks, it gets plus 1k until the end of the turn. So it can be used to kill some of the buffer characters. And Daniel cancels 2 of those attacks, only taking that 2 damage from the last attack. Or I think she sided for the first one actually. I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy looking at like card translations. Daniel's gonna go ahead and clock here. Still sitting on that Laharl-chan. Getting ready to go into refresh. Alright, so the first card that he plays here is a 2-1 Desco Changer. At the start of the Encore phase, if she's in rest position, you can pay the cost and change her into the 3-2 Desco, which is a healer. And he probably has the 3-2 Desco already in his hand because he wants to be able to still change after he refreshes his deck. And if it's not in the waiting room already, it should be in his hand. We already knew that card was on the bottom because he put it there. Now the Desco, the 3-2 Desco that he can bring out with the change, it's a 3-2-9-5 healer. And apart from the heal effect, if it comes into play from your hand, you have to rest a character. That's a downside. But if it comes into play by change, you don't have to rest one. And then her last ability is depending on the character across from her, she gains plus power. So for every level of the character across, she gets plus 500 power. So she's 9-5 base. If she's against a level 2, she gets plus 1k. If she's against a level 3, she gets plus 15. Now on Michelle's turn, she's gonna clock Encore here, and she's gonna clock Encore Climax, which is kind of unfortunate. At this point, I don't know if Michelle's going to be able to deal with... Okay, so he didn't change after all, so he doesn't have it in his hand, I guess. I don't know if she's going to be able to deal with all of his board. He's got a pretty strong board setup right now. The 2-1 Ellie is going to be able to clear that Desco Changer because she is only like 7-5 or 7k. But the card that's giving her the most problem right now is definitely the 2-3 Laharl Chan. It's sitting there at like 10k, I believe. She's going to play a 2k1 Climax here to boost the Clock Encore Ellie, and I believe it's going to be at 8-5. So she's going to be able to beat it. She triggers a gold bar. Okay, so from what I'm hearing right now on the game audio, Michelle only has 3 climaxes in her waiting room. And she's about to have a 4th one when she ends her turn after this attack. Or not. Okay, so she triggers 2 gold bars in a row, and that's going to cause her to refresh with only 3. Now what she could have done, the gold bar effect to add stock is optional, so she could have left the last card of the deck there and just add the gold bar to her hand, and that would allow the 2k1 climax that she currently has on the stage to go back in with the refresh. Currently she has a 2k1 right there on the stage. Not in the waiting room. She has 2k1 in her clock, and she has 2 gold bars in her hand, and the 5th climax, because she has 3 in her deck. So the 5th climax that was not in her deck, I'm assuming is either in her hand or in her stock. I wasn't paying attention to all of the stock. She might have blind stocked it as well off of one of those 2 gold bar abilities. So right here, Daniel plays the famous Wing Slayer card. It's a 1-0 event. It's a green event. What it does is you clock yourself until you level up, and then you give minus 3k to every single card on your opponent's field. And so because of Weiss Schwarz mechanics, if a character hits 0 power, it gets immediately sent to the waiting room. So with that effect, he just immediately wipes Michelle's back row. And he was already at 2-6, so he only had to clock 1 damage. At the same time, by hitting level 3, it allows him to start playing his level 3 characters. Although he's not going to play his level 3 characters just yet. He's going to stick with what he has on the field and play a stock soul climax. So when you play the climax, you choose a red card from your waiting room and put it into stock, and then all your characters get +1 soul until the end of the turn. So that first attack is going to hit for 2. Now he's going to direct for 3. I think 4. 4. All right, direct for 4. I might have missed the trigger. All right, at this point, he can side for 2. Laharl-chan's base soul is 2. With the climax, it becomes 3, and she has a level 1 character, so he can side for 2, which would have been perfect damage, but she canceled. So he also triggered a +2, so he was swinging for 4. He was like super overswinging, and then ended up not even mattering. So Michelle needs 7 damage to end the game here. Asking how many climaxes are in his waiting room. I spy 3 or 4. Not sure. He also triggered 1 just now, so at least 4. It's definitely possible for her to win the game right here. Alright, so she's going to play the 3-2 Nozomi from Love Live Volume 2. When it comes into play, you can heal 1 damage, and she has a climax combo with a gold bar, which we know she has the gold bar in her hand. It has a climax combo with the gold bar. When you play the climax, you pay 1 stock, and then you can search your deck for any music character and put it onto the stage. It's a really good climax combo. It can allow you to play level 3s on the field. It doesn't proc the on-play ability of that level 3, so like if you play a healer, you don't get to heal, because most of those on-play abilities say that they have to be played from your hand. But you are able to get other cool stuff, like you can get level supports. She might be getting a 1k global right here. You can get level 3s that don't have on-play abilities. For example, one of my friends playing Love Live, he uses that ability to get the 3-2 Nico Clock Shooter. At this point, though, it looks like Michelle just wants to thin out her deck, so she's just going to look for characters to play onto the stage. She can use the effect twice. Okay, so she is going to use the effect twice. That's going to thin the deck out 2 more characters, so she has a higher chance of canceling attacks on her following turn. So that's a good play, considering if she has like nothing better to play from the deck, she might as well thin out her deck to make canceling easier next turn. The Nozomi, yeah, so the Nozomi is a 3-2-9-5, but if you have 3 or more other characters, she gets a 1k buff. She's gonna hit for 3, that's gonna cancel. Hit for 4, and that is going to go through. So if she triggers, she needs 1 soul trigger here in order to possibly win the game. Nope, just 2. And it's going to cancel anyway. So Daniel is now at 3-4, and he's going to use Hand Encore on, I believe the Desco is still on the field. I don't think he played a new character, so he's going to keep the Desco on the field, probably so that he can change into a Desco at the end of the turn. Alright, so he's going to play the 3-2 Desco straight from his hand. When he plays it from his hand, he has to rest a character. So he's going to go ahead and rest whatever that character is on the top. I'm pretty sure it's still the Desco Changer. And so by doing this, by resting that Desco Changer, he's going to be able to change it at the end of the turn. Because it just has to be in rest position. It doesn't have to be in the front row. It doesn't have to have attacked. So that's actually a pretty good strategy if he wants to change more. And he played a second Desco healer, which means he has to rest another character. And so whenever that Desco is across from a level 3, it's going to automatically become 11k because of its own effect. Because it gets 500 boost for each level of the opposing character. So against the Nozomis, the Descos are going to be 11, whereas the Nozomis are 10-5. So they're going to be able to kill him. He's going to move his characters around a bit. Calculating his attacks. Math is hard, guys. Weiss Schwarz. So he's just going to go ahead and start swinging. So this is going to be attack for 3 with the Desco. That's going to land. So that means he only needs 1 damage left. So he's going to suicide there for 1 damage. And that's going to be it. So Daniel takes the game. I hope you guys enjoyed these 5 videos from Desu-Nation's tournaments this week. If you guys enjoyed what you saw, be sure to comment on the videos, give it a like, and if you are looking forward to more videos in the future, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it when you guys enjoy my videos and let me know that you enjoy my videos. So also, if you guys are ever in Southern California, be sure to check out Desu-Nation's local Friday tournaments. As you can see on your screen off to the right, our tournaments are around 6 p.m. on Friday. So if you are ever in the area, be sure to stop in. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Peshcats, and I'll see you next time. Bye.